Hi, what's up everyone? How's it going? Tervetuloa uuden videon pariin. I'm a nerd at heart, a collector. I like novelty items, and when I heard about this a few weeks ago, I just had to get it. I went straight to Huuto and I got it, even though the shipping was almost 3 times as much as what this really cost me. And I'm talking about this. I mean, you might think I'm weird, right? But I'm not joking. I'm talking about this dusty 100... Actually, it's not that dusty, but I'm talking about a 111 years old Finnish law book. Suomalainen lakiteos. And I mean, it's weird for me to have it. Why would I want this? It cost me 24 euros to get it, right? Because shipping was 20 euros and 90 cents. But as I said before, I like curiosities, I like novelty items, and yeah, I'm just gonna show you why I think this book is so interesting, and you saw it in the B-roll as well. If you look at this page, it says something interesting. Ruotsin valtakunnan laki, which means the law of the Kingdom of Sweden. Yes, Sweden, although Finland was not a part of Sweden at this time. This book was printed in 1909. Finland turned Russian, or at least became an autonomous Grand Duchy of Russia in 1809. So 100 years later we got this book, and it still says the law of the Kingdom of Sweden, and I'm loving this. Just because it's such a curiosity. The explanation for this is super logical. It's not weird at all, but I can't help but think that this is just so interesting to me, and I just had to get the book, even though it was far too expensive, really. But yeah, it's super interesting. So basically why this is that Finland's law book and Sweden's law book, they are both based on the Swedish laws from 1734. And this new law book replaced a lot of medieval laws. In 1809, Finland turned into its own thing, or rather it became Russian, but one of the deals was that Finland turns into an autonomous Grand Duchy, right? So they get to keep the Swedish constitution that they've always had, etc. So Swedish as a language is still important in Finland, and the laws are still the same. So basically, Finland, or Finns, they don't like change too much. We've seen that in the language and in the basically in the how the country is run, etc. So you can see that here, that the Finns, they wanted everything to be like always. They don't care if Sweden is the master or Russia is the master here. They just want everything to go back to normal, right? So they get to keep the Swedish constitution, and everything is like it's always been. But of course, they want to change stuff as they go, because if there's something that they have to change, obviously they have to change it. So they change laws just like any other country, right? So yeah, of course, changes were made both in Finland and Sweden, and eventually you would need a new law book. And in 1825, Sweden got one, and I think around 1860, Finland got one. All the changes were just made on paper or whatever and not bundled together. So that's important, of course. Finland has its own system and its own laws, in Sweden too. However, though, they are both based on the same laws from 1734. So this is very interesting. However, why does this book, 100 years after the split, so to speak, why does it still say Ruotsin valtakunnan laki? Well, I guess tradition is one reason. This is not like the official law book, but like also in Sweden in the 1800s, we started to basically make a collection of the most important laws that the public should know about. And so basically these law books, they are private collection of laws, or the most important laws. I guess it's the same for this one as for the Swedish one. And the Swedish one still says Sveriges rikes lag today, which is the same. Sweden's kingdoms, the kingdom of Sweden's law. And it's basically the same as this. And as far as I know, and I don't know if I got this completely right, after 1920, this book wasn't really updated, but reprinted, and in the 30s or 40s, the wording Sweden's, like the Kingdom of Sweden, was removed from the book. If you have this one, or have a copy from the 30s or 40s, please check inside and leave a comment down below, because I really want to know this, because I'm weird, right? Some people, they don't care about this stuff, but I think this is really interesting, and I really want to know how things really are, so please let me know. I know that I said that Finland's laws and Sweden's laws are all based on the old Swedish laws from 1734, and it's true, but a disclaimer here. Sweden, for instance, got a new constitution in the 70s, so there is barely anything left. Basically, everything is based on this, but has been rewritten and blah blah blah. So in Sweden, not much is still there. However, in Finland, there is even more left in the law today that was taken from the law book from 1734. So that's that. For instance, kauppakaari, that one has been changed. I checked. It has been changed, but for instance, in chapter 1, I think paragraph 3, that's the same. That's entirely the same. It's the same here as on, for instance, Finlex, I think, is the homepage that I checked. So I checked some other things here. So yeah, the Handelsbalken, the commerce code, that's definitely the same or partially the same in Finland as it was in 1734. So that's very interesting, and I checked there are a few other stuff as well that is the same. You can check it online if you want. I just wanted to tell you that I got this and how interesting I think it is that it still says the Kingdom of Sweden in this book, even 100 years after we parted ways. All right, I hope that you found this video a bit educational, maybe. Maybe I'm the only one that is excited for this, but at least I taught you a little bit. I just scratched the surface, of course, as always, but you got a little bit of knowledge there. My voice is disappearing, so maybe I should have some water and get the hell out of here. So thank you for watching. Kiitos katsomisesta ja nähdään.